Hey, welcome to another episode of The American Dream. I'm your host, Craig Sewing. Thanks for joining me. I got a great show lined up for you today. Actually, today's gonna be a lot of fun. We're gonna talk about celebrating that entrepreneurial spirit. We got a guy who coaches with Tony Robbins joining us in studio. Also, as we dive into real estate today, we're gonna talk about some cool things you can do to not only spice up your home, but to develop a money space. This is gonna be a really great show. So stick around. Here comes another episode of The American Dream. Every single day, you are consumed with information. With the 24/7 negative news cycle and a pop culture that's polluting the airwaves, all selling out for the ratings game. Well, guess what? There's a more positive way to look at life. You live in the greatest city in the greatest country on the planet. Every day with our elite network of professionals, our goal is to educate, empower, and engage. And now it's time to fight for your American dream. And now for the word on the American dream. It's just a reminder that as we come on the show every morning with you, and one of my favorite things to do is pick a fight with the media. When I develop the word every day, it's to give you some good news. And here's a great contrast right here on my computer screen at CNN.com. And I want to tell you the things that they have found to be newsworthy. High schoolers are manufacturing defunct airplane parts. That's their number one story of news. High school students build a bomb-seeking robot. Well, that's not bad. Gay referee fighting back after abuse. Bomb goes off in Iraq. Trump calls out Melania, whatever that could possibly mean. So you have all of this negativity when you go down CNN. Now, the reason that people buy into this stuff is simply because when you click that link, the advertisers pay for that money. I want you to know when you watch a show, none of it has any advertising dollars whatsoever. We have partners in the model. When you watch this show, you're going to see a lot of great content, things I consider to be of value for you, whether it's a great story, a reflection of one of your stories, an expert, an author, someone who can give you an uplifting message. But also, when we dive into things like real estate, finance, mortgage, these are people right here of the San Diego marketplace that can actually give you advice. If you ever have questions, you need advice, I want you walking away from the show with something of value and also being a resource for you. Make sure you reach out to us. It's very easy. Go to craigsewing.com. That is our website. That's how we can connect you. You can engage in the conversation and certainly walk away from this show with something a little bit more of substance and value than the negative stuff you see in the media. That's the word on the American dream. Of course, if you want to engage in the conversation, visit us online and social media. All right, now let's jump to our first guest. You've seen him on this show before. He's a leading entrepreneur here in San Diego. Guy's got all kinds of businesses going on, including Epic Fighting, which he's a CEO of. Jason Stewart joins us in studio now. And now for the Epic Entrepreneur segment with our good friend, Jason Stewart, who is epic in his own way with the founding of Epic Fighting and an entrepreneur, well-connected man. Good to have you here.
Thanks for
having me. We
having
got our own specialized segment. Are we going to show all the kids on Snapchat?
Yeah, I'm going to be doing a few snaps. I got to do a couple snaps of Simon's story. It's awesome. You guys are really going to enjoy what he's put together and
Simon
his
Lavelle,
life story as
good
well.
to have you on the show as well, my friend.
My pleasure.
So I know you got a great story. You can tell by your accent you're not from around here.
No, I just arrived in the US about 7 months ago.
Oh, no kidding.
All the way from the UK, so that long journey.
Now, why the trip to the US? Why the US? And you're permanently staying here?
Yeah, I moved a business over here called the Fitpreneurs, and I help fitness professionals grow their businesses. And you know, for a long time, I wanted to move to America. I can remember a couple of years ago being driven around La Jolla going, I want to live here. But, you know, so many people have a dream. And at that time, it was a dream. I would love to do this. But I hadn't made the decision. And it got to the point, I was actually in Wales, and I said to myself, why haven't I made that decision? Why haven't I committed to just do what it takes to move?
That's a big move.
Right, and so I sat there and I was drilling into really the reason why. And do you know what the crazy things that popped up was? I'm gonna have to drive on the other side of the road. There's gonna be all these crazy things that are gonna go on. And it's amazing how a simple thought might stop us from taking action. Yeah. But in that moment, I decided and I said, I am gonna move to America. And it's when you take a thought and a dream and turn it into a decision. And I made that decision. And then you can work backwards, and I was like, as soon as I committed, I was like, what needs to happen now for this to happen? So I started to get in touch with lawyer companies, what type of visa do I need? And, you know, there were some roadblocks that stopped me. You know, the first company that I hired, they didn't really help me out much, and so I had to go and blast through another challenge. And then 12 months later, I found myself living in La Jolla and really, you know, living the dream and actually serving people doing it. So it's a fantastic
So we got to ask, you are driving on the correct side of the road. In La
Some
Jolla,
of the
correct?
time. Some
Okay,
of the
good.
time.
So
I've
if
only
you
had
see
2
some-
tickets so far, so I'm all good.
Got it. So keep an eye out for someone
Learning
on the other
fast.
side. It's
Keep an eye out for a Ferrari driving on the wrong side of the road in La Jolla. That might
That
be
is
Simon.
it. That is it.
So you got a book that you've written. Fitpreneurs is the model that you've brought to the U.S. Tell us about your book, though.
This is based on a lot of content that I've put out over the past couple of years. It's called The New Encyclopedia of Modern Fitness Business Building. And really what it's about is helping a personal trainer become a true fitpreneur, a true fitness professional who helps change more lives. You know, I think the currency really is those 4 words, you changed my life. And the more that a personal trainer can hear that, but the problem is that so many personal trainers are struggling financially, maybe earning a very small amount because they've been taught a business model of train clients one-to-one and, you know, only leverage yourself in a very small area. And so what I help personal trainers do is scale their business, grow it so that they become a 6-figure fitpreneur, so that yes, they earn more so that they can live the dream that they want, but actually impact and change more lives.
Well, I know as we were looking into your book before we came onto the show here today, there's some interesting stuff there about building relationships, trust. You were once a trainer as well, and now I don't even feel like, I mean, we've all done the pumping weight thing now, but I noticed we're doing the Snapchat on your phone. You had a Buddha on the back, so there's mindfulness now and yoga and acupuncture. The world has changed when it comes to training, I think, than what it used to be. I mean, do you find that to be true?
I think moving forward, especially now with it being so competitive, if you aren't dialing in, for example, mindset at a baseline level, you're not introducing things like meditation and how the mind works, you're not truly a fitpreneur. So many people can go to a solution to get fit. You know, and even if you teach fitness and nutrition, it's actually getting people to take the action to do it. And so
And changing their mindset.
Exactly. And so and my mindset had to shift to get to 6 figures to 7 figures. There has to be an alteration and a shift that happens. And that only comes from working on the mind. And so I'm big on working on mindset because it's helped me. It's helped me grow and evolve. And, you know, I invest $250,000 a year in my own personal development so that I can grow to that next level. Because if I'm staying stagnant, how am I able to pull people up to that level? And so there's so many people being incongruent with what they're doing because they're not living it. And so I have to stretch and grow myself in order to help other people get there, because if I've done it, I can pull people up quicker.
Wow. That's huge. Yeah, I was a fitness trainer for 6 years, and I was a career trainer. I had tons of clients, but really the only way I knew how to do it was train 10 to 12 people a day, which is 10 to 12 hours on your feet training them. If you can squeeze in a snack or a lunch in between, that's just more time out of your day that you're not home, young daughter at home. And I bought my first house with it, and, you know, I made decent money with it, but I wish I had this book because he makes it scalable, you know?
It just seems like the world's changed, and a lot of the things that we've already referenced that are in that book, these are actually things that have been around for thousands and thousands of years. You know, meditation, mindfulness, but it seems like the way that we've solved so many problems with Western medicine is to give it a pill, right? And we spend so much time on things in the craziness of our laptops and our iPhones, and we're all over the map, but we don't focus on our minds. You know,
The subconscious is huge. The subconscious is what's driving the ship, no matter how much you push in consciousness. And that's one tool that I wish I had back in my fitness training days, because I would train someone and I'd give them the diet program, I would give them the best workout, and they'd keep improving on their fitness capabilities, but their body wouldn't change sometimes. And so these people were stuck in the mindset that I'm a big girl or I'm a big bone guy. And once you have to make that switch to be like, I'm not, this is not who I am. Or no matter what you do, you're gonna come right back to that. You're gonna figure out a way to stay big because that's your self-identity. So that needs to switch.
I want to make a couple of interesting points and important points, which is, for me, meditation is a non-negotiable. It's like brushing my teeth. But also, so many people have a negative association to that word. So they hear the word meditation and they think under a tree, hands positioned like this, and it's very woo-woo. And so what we have to do is re-educate in terms of educating trainers or the most of the population to what it is, which is really about calming the mind and becoming centered so you're more relaxed and you're not jumping into the future or beating yourself up to things that have happened in the past. And so it's such a challenge right now with so much stimuli around us to not be centered and calm. And so meditation is just about calming ourselves so we can use our intuition, so we can make more powerful decisions that don't come from a place of fear, that come from a place of power.
I heard a great quote, find 15 minutes every day to meditate, and if you don't have 15 minutes, find an hour, right? So it's an easy thing to skip over. We're so caught up in the craziness that when you find yourself making the excuse because you're so busy, well, then you probably need to do it more than anybody
else.
else.
You need it more than anyone.
Yeah, I've got to be honest with you. I talk about this quite a bit on my show and certainly outside of the show because I think it's one of the biggest personal and professional discoveries I've ever had. And I don't know how I got through most of my life without it.
So do you meditate daily now?
Every
Is that
day.
part of your practice?
Yeah,
how long
every
do you
day.
do it for?
Usually about 15 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I try to do 10 minutes a day. And sometimes I've had a couple days in the last couple of weeks where that 10 minutes is just like, I can't even sit still for the 10 minutes.
We're all entrepreneurial. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Tony Robbins has been one of my mentors for a few years now, and he does a thing called priming, and it's like an explosive hand movement where you bring your hands down and breathe out through the nose, and it's a great way to, again, change your state. So there's lots of different ways to do meditation. There's different styles. There's different ways to do it. But really, so many people have the excuse of no time, right? I've got no time to.
Right.
But you can take a bathroom break and do some simple meditation.
Done that. I've literally.
I have too. It's funny. I mean, before I've spoken on stage at big events, I've pulled off, gone in the bathroom, shut the door, and just did a 10-second countdown. Just got into that state. It's all about getting in that state of mind.
One of the most important things before you go to bed also is to meditate, because if you go to bed frustrated and angry, you're going to simmer on that frustration all the way through the night, and then it's going to become part of your subconscious. So making sure that you're calm and relaxed and having positive thoughts at the point in which you go to sleep is critical.
Man, some great nuggets out of this interview today.
Yeah.
Jason, Simon, thanks for coming on the show. Great message. I hope people can pick up your book. I'm sure they can visit your website, which is probably popped up on the screen for us. And look, we'll look out for you on the roads in La Jolla and all your growing success here in the U.S.
Thank you for having me on.
All right, coming up next, more of the American Dream. Stick around.
Hey, this is Simon Lovell, and hopefully you enjoyed that clip. Now, if you're a personal trainer and you want to turn into a fitpreneur, change more lives, get freedom for yourself, and rapidly boost your fitness business, we have a system pretty dialed in, so we can help you with your mindset, your sales, your marketing, put that all together so that you can scale up into a six-figure business, yes, 100,000 plus per year. And we can help you do that very quickly. All you need to do is click the link below, apply for your free breakthrough call, and myself or my team will be in contact to help you to get that shift, and you're going to have huge aha moments. Now, we only have a very limited number of these calls every single month, so do not hesitate. If this interests you and you want to really impact the world in a much bigger way, click the link below, and hopefully we'll be chatting with you soon. Take it easy.